Thank you everyone for being here. This is demo day for cohort 4 of the Solana incubator. The teams have been grinding across the last 3 months to prepare for this, to build traction, to grow. So we'll hear all about that in a little bit. A lot of familiar faces in here. Some of you might be wondering, what is Solana? What is the Solana incubator? What is Solana Labs even? What is Solana even exactly? So I'm Iman Motamedi. I head up the Solana incubator, which sits within Solana Labs. Solana Labs, as many folks are familiar, built a lot of the early products and protocols for the network, built the original validator client. But as the network has grown, as all these amazing developers have come into the ecosystem, we asked ourselves, how can we scale our knowledge, our expertise, our resources across the teams in Solana to really bring about the next unicorn, the next billion-dollar company on chain? And to do that, we came up with an incubator program, and specifically within the incubator program, we're working across a very small set of teams, 4 to 6 teams max per cohort. We're bringing them to New York 3 months at a time and really building and growing alongside them to make their companies all it can be. Moving to DeepIn. So I bet some people in the room are familiar with DeepIn. One of the major challenges that we've seen as the DeepIn industry has tried to scale is if you're an individual deployer, let's say you're trying to work with a big hotel chain and you think there's an opportunity to bring a Wi-Fi deployment there, there's a lot of capital needed up front. And if you're sort of an individual deployer, you might not have access to that capital. On the flip side, myself, maybe some of you might be interested in investing in DeepIn projects, taking advantage of those rewards, but you don't want to go through the hassle of doing the deployment yourself and getting all the infrastructure. And so Fractals has come in with a solution to try to address both sides of that equation. And I'll leave it to Cameron to tell you guys a bit more. So please give it up for Fractals.
Hey everybody, so we're building the capital layer for yield producing infrastructure on Solana. So if there's one thing I want you guys to take away, it is this slide. A lot of you are probably on crypto Twitter. You may have seen this all over Twitter the past few months that DeepIn is dead. But that actually couldn't be further from the truth. So under the hood, the best networks continue to report great metrics across the board. Last year, Messari reported $72 million of on-chain revenue flowed for these DeepIn companies. Today, Helium is doing millions of daily active users connect to that network. It does over 50,000 a day in network revenue. XNet is doubling its offload numbers roughly every 1 to 2 months. GeoNet has quietly built one of the world's largest RTK networks that powers drones and robotics companies, and they're doing over $10 million in ARR. And we're super excited about some new DeepIns that are being launched, namely FlightGrid, which we'll talk about more in a bit. They currently do millions of dollars in ARR before launching their DeepIn. So what's the problem? The problem is that capital is constrained, and these deployer groups don't have any access to financing. So while the networks have customers, they have demand, the actual people building out these physical infrastructure networks have no way to finance their businesses. And their businesses are expensive, right? The hardware is expensive. Pitching location owners, buying the hardware, doing the installation, maintaining it all costs enormous amounts of upfront capital. And inherently, these businesses make rewards 30 days from now, 60 days from now. So all of this means that there are great locations, but they're going undeployed because of that inaccessibility to capital. So simply put, DeepIn needs a financing layer. And that's where Fractals comes in. Fractals helps deployers turn those future cash flows into upfront capital today. DeepIn operators get access to the financing, and then everybody in this room gets access to DeepIn rewards without doing the work yourself. So deployers are able to list future token rewards today, raising upfront capital that they can reinvest back into the business. Everybody in this room, for example, can contribute and fund those deployments and earn the rewards in doing so. And Fractals powers the on-chain distribution through one of our products we called Sync. So in V0, we proved the model works. We did about $325,000 in token distributions and capital raised to date, and we target about a 20% yield profile. And importantly, the average duration of these listings is only 2 to 3 months so far. So that's 20% over 2 months. We have some testimonies from some of our deployer groups. Pedro is a GeoNet deployer. He's been able to expand his footprint across Latin America via Fractals. And we have Ryan, is a very large XNet deployer, was able to upgrade his equipment without waiting for XNet's next emission cycle. So today, we're mainly focused on network-wide partnerships. We got started working directly with individual deployer groups who may manage 10, 20, 50 locations. We're now working directly with the networks themselves. So Fractals coordinates the capital as well as the deployer group, and networks get to grow faster than ever before. We bifurcate the process. We have contributors on one end, that's folks like you guys in this room who are providing capital and getting a slice of those rewards. And then we have qualified deployers on the other end. Those guys are accessing financing and Fractals funded hardware to deploy. And all of this means that these verticals across wireless, mapping, drone detection, and energy can scale faster than was previously possible. So we're very excited today to announce our partnership with FlightGrid. FlightGrid is a venture-backed drone detection network. We believe it's going to be the most exciting DPIN launched in 2026. The company is already doing millions of dollars in annual recurring revenue with existing contracts with the Department of Defense, Homeland Security, and other critical infrastructure providers. They're also a proven company. They're Series B, they've raised $50 million to date, and they have a very clear bottleneck here. They need more coverage across the US in well-placed locations so they can then sell and onboard more customer groups. And that's where Fractals comes in, right? Instead of having to sell the hardware to the people also deploying it, we help fund the hardware through Fractals pools and then connect that hardware to pre-qualified deployers who have great locations to deploy in. And all of this means that FlightGrid can scale faster than ever before. So start funding real-world infrastructure today. You can scan that QR code. That will bring you to fractals.finance, where we have new listings dropping weekly across mapping, across energy, across wireless, and more. So if you're a contributor in this crowd, you're interested in deploying some capital and earning the rewards, please get in touch. And if there are any deployers in the crowd looking towards financing solutions or getting some Fractals funded hardware, please stop us as well. Thank you.